Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for my overview of the dissertation prospectus titled Evaluating the Effectiveness of Police Oversight in Houston, Texas, Mixed Methods Model 2020 through 25. This presentation covers the problem the study addresses, its theoretical grounding, and the mixed methods design proposed to test it. My name is Tina Jason. Policing is one of the most visible tests of institutional legitimacy in public administration. Following the 2020 protest, cities nationwide adopted civilian oversight mechanisms, though these bodies often face limited authority and resources. Little is known about oversight reform pursued locally, absent a federal consent decree. Houston's 2024 discovery that more than 264,000 incident reports had been shelved for nearly a decade underscores the urgency of evaluating whether its oversight system, the Office of Policing Reform and Accountability, and the Independent Police Oversight Board functions as intended. After the 2020 protest, Houston Mayor's task force gathered more than 7,000 community surveys and issued over 100 recommendations, leading to OPRA's creation in 2021, IPOP's restructuring with professional staff, a complaint portal, and public dashboards. Implementation has been inconsistent, and the 2024 discovery, the reports had been coded suspended due to lack of personnel for nearly a decade, led to the police chief's resignation and an independent review committee. My role supporting that committee is disclosed in the proposal and managed through the safeguards described in the methodology. This study is grounded in 4 complementary frameworks. Legitimacy theory is the central lens, explaining trust as a function of perceived procedural fairness. Transparency theory and performance management theory jointly define and operationalize oversight effectiveness, independent variable. Social constructivism guides the qualitative strand, treating each stakeholder group's interpretation of oversight as a distinct and legitimate source of understanding. Quantitatively, this study determines the extent to which oversight effectiveness is associated with community trust among adult Houston residents. Qualitatively, it captures how oversight professionals, HPD personnel, and community stakeholders experience oversight in practice. Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York serve only as descriptive references, not statistical comparisons. And explanatory sequential design, quantitative first and qualitative second, integrates both strands. 4 questions guide the study. An overarching mixed methods question. Quantitative research question 1, testing whether oversight effectiveness predicts community trust with corresponding null and alternative hypothesis. Qualitative research question, exploring stakeholder perceptions. And the mixed methods question, integrating both strands. Because the design is cross-sectional and the sample is one of convenience, predict is used in the regression technical sense, not as a claim of causation. This study addresses a gap in scholarship on locally initiated oversight reform pursued without a federal consent decree and offers a transferable effectiveness framework for practitioners in Houston and peer cities. It examines whether community grievances translate into meaningful change and fills a gap in the qualitative literature, which has studied oversight stakeholder groups in isolation rather than together. Timing is significant given historically low national trust in policing and the 2025 scale back of federal consent decrees. This dissertation employs an explanatory sequential mixed methods design, quantitative phase, testing quantitative research question 1 through simple linear regression, followed by a qualitative phase of interviews that explains the relationship in practice, with both strands integrated through a joint display to address mixed methods question 1. Although conducted at a single site, this is not a yin-style case study. It produces an analytically generalizable oversight effectiveness model. The quantitative population is adult Houston residents. A power analysis indicates a minimum of 55 participants, with a target of 150 through convenience sampling. The qualitative population comprises 3 stakeholder groups, 6 to 8 participants each for 18 to 24 interviews, recruitment of Houston Police Department, and Office of Policing Reform and Accountability affiliated participants is routed through an independent liaison to protect against researcher influence. Instrumentation includes a 12-item researcher-developed oversight effectiveness scale, the validated trust in police scale, and the semi-structured interview protocol. Survey data will be analyzed using simple linear regression in SPSS after testing standard regression assumptions. Interview data will undergo Braun and Clark's 6-phase thematic analysis in MaxQDA. Rigor rests on Lincoln and Guba's 4 trustworthiness criteria: member checking, peer debriefing, a reflexive journal, and secondary coding of 20% of transcripts. Key limitations include the single-site design, convenience sampling, cross-sectional design, and my dual role as both OPRA practitioner and investigator. This study offers a rigorous mixed methods evaluation of whether locally driven police oversight builds genuine community trust. Pending committee approval and IRB clearance, data collection and analysis proceed across a 10-week timeline, concluding with an integrated joint display. The result will contribute both a scholarly framework and practical guidance for Houston and comparable jurisdictions. And finally, here are some references to consider, and I thank you for joining me for this overview.